already. So, my name's Owen, as we said already, I'll be your demonstrator today. I know you're totally green to caravanning, so I'll start and talk about sighting and levelling your van, and then I'll talk through the bits of your starter pack that are here. Then I'll move on to the exterior features on your caravan, then we'll jump inside and I'll do all the internal features. If you have got any questions at any point, and there's no such thing as a silly question, please feel free to ask away. Yeah. Now, normally we have quite a tight slot because I've got loads of them going out, but you're my last one of the day. So I'm not going to rush you. Take your time, ask me as many questions as you want. Okay, thanks. Okay? Yeah. So, sighting and levelling your van. Well, imagine now you're hooked onto the car and you've got it onto your caravan pitch where you're actually staying. Now, if you're going up on our Love to Stay at the top up there, on our fantastic, fully serviced, 5-star pitches, they're virtually all level. Yeah. The only ones that aren't slightly, it's only a slight lean which you can adjust on your legs. But say you're in a farmer's field, what you can find, it can be undulations or unlevel surfaces. So the way to do it is put the caravan where you want it, and then carry a small spirit level, open your door and just use one of the flat surfaces inside, and you can have a look how much you are left to right. So once you've decided, say she's leaning down on the left hand side, what you want to do is pull it away, back from where you want it, put wood down where the wheels were, and then reverse it onto the wood. Okay, so you level left to right first of all. Once you've got left to right done, you can obviously then take it off the vehicle, and then front to back is all done off the jockey wheel here. Now you may think, levelling it, why all this trouble? Well, A, it's for your drainage system, and B, it's for your cooking. Because if you chuck 3 eggs in your frying pan, what you'll find is all your eggs will all sit to the one side. And plus silly things like, if you are on an angle, things like the shower won't drain properly, because you imagine if you're leaning away from your plug hole. So all it is, levelling it will make it a lot more comfortable living space for you. Okay? Yeah. Happy with that? Yeah. Fantastic. So, other than that, I'll move on to your starter pack that they've got here. There is some items I've fitted on already, which I'll let you know as we go round. But here we've obviously got your lovely air awning, fantastic, no poles or anything, they are relatively easy. Sadly, if you do want a demonstration in that, it's a bit out of my league, but the gentleman in the shop will quite happily give you a quick tutorial as such. We've then got your leg winder, your Aperol, your Wastemaster, your 2 toilet chemicals. So we've got then your mirrors for the car, which you need by law now, you need to have on every time you tow in the caravan. We've got your Alco hitch lock, which locks on over the front of your hitch here. We've also then got obviously your step, your waste pipe connections, and also your power lead. Now the other bits is like your gas bottle, your pigtail, I've fitted that already, and your brand new leisure battery, which is already fitted on, ready to go. Okay. Now waste pipes, while I'm on it here, this is the style you connect to the caravan, and then this goes in your Wastemaster. But like on our fantastic Love to Stay at the top up there, are you having the free night tonight up there?
No, we can't, because he's only got 1 day off.
Well, do me a favour, when you go back in and speak to Jack, tell him you would be interested in it, and just book it for when it's convenient for yourselves. But please take him up on the offer, because it will ruin every other caravan park you will ever go to. It is fantastic up there. And it's well worth, honestly, it's well worth a look of going up there. Yeah. But up there, what you'll find is we've got our own drainage system on your pitch. So what you can buy is, like, say, a 2 or 3 metre section of this. You can just pull that off and then replace another pipe on it. So rather than using your Wastemaster, you could run this waste pipe directly into a drain. Right. So you don't have to worry about your drainage system. And what you'll find on a lot of the modern sites, they've all got that facility for you. So if it says a fully serviced pitch, what it means is you've got water and waste and everything on your pitch where you are. So you don't have to go running around looking for a tap or a drain where you can empty. Okay. Right. Yeah. Happy with everything so far?
Yeah.
Lovely. So, other than that, I'll actually move on to the caravan itself now. So, starting at the very front end. First off is your stabiliser hitch. So, how the stabiliser hitch works, if you look, when I close down, do you see it closing in? So it opens up and then it closes in when it comes down. What that's doing is gripping onto your tow ball. So when you're going down the road, it gives you extra stability. Because it clamps onto your tow ball needs to be paint free and grease free. So the cleaner the tow ball, the better the stabiliser will work for you. Okay, then underneath we've got your main hitch, your breakaway cable. Handbrake is as easy as handbrake off, handbrake on. It's as simple as that. Jockey wheel winds up and down on the pole, but then on the lever here you can undo that and slide the pole up and down. Okay, and then 13 pin for your lights and your electrics. But as daft as this, all this will make more sense once I'm hooking you up to the car afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. I
Okay.
do quite a lot with trailers, but
Oh.
it's not a caravan.
Yeah, perfect. It's similar, very, very similar, and the safety checks are the same anyway, so you'll be used to that. We've then got ATC. Now, you won't have seen that on your trailers. So what the ATC is an automatic stability aid on the caravan. So what it is, it's got motion sensors built into the caravan. When you're going down the road, if you get a bit of a snake on, the caravan will automatically sense that and apply the brakes on the caravan for you. So all you'll feel in the car is the caravan slightly tugging away behind you, and all it's doing, the caravan is self-stabilising itself as such. Okay, so it's a nice feature to have, especially if, well, it sounds like you're not brand new to towing anyway, but it will be a different towing experience, put it that way. Now, for the ATC, there is like a sequence of lights it goes through. When you initially plug it in, it'll come up with a red light to start with, and then it'll either go to a green solid light or green flashing. Now, green flashing light means the system's still setting itself, but green solid means you're good to go. Now, if you've got a flashing light, all you need to do is just pull it down the road a few metres, stop, get out, and have a look and just check it's gone to solid green. Okay, and obviously solid green, good to go. Now, I'll talk about red lights, but please don't be alarmed by anything I'm going to tell you here, because in the 2 years I've been here, I've never known anyone ever have any problems with it, but we have to tell you just in case. So if you're ever plugging it in, and you've got a red light that's not clearing, it's not going anywhere, first thing to try is just unplug it, leave it a few seconds, plug it back in again. If you've tried that a few times and it's not clearing, next thing you can do is leave it plugged into the car, but uncouple it, take it off, and just see if you can rock the van. If you can rock the van, it means your brakes aren't locked on, it means you can tow, it just means your ATC system isn't working. But then on the other hand, if you take it off the car, you can't move the caravan a millimetre, it means the brakes are locked on, it's a definite no-tow. But as I say, please, don't be alarmed by that. We just like you to give if you're the 1 in 10 millionth person that has any problems with it, but fingers crossed you won't have any issues. Okay?
Yeah.
Does
Happy with
that
that?
rely on all 13 pins on there working? So I've got the old style 7 pin and I've got an adapter.
Have you got the 2 sockets or just the 1?
There's only one at the
No,
moment.
so sadly no. All you will get through that is the lights on the caravan. That's it. So it will not run the ATC, and it also will not run the fridge or reverse lights when you're going down the road. So depending on how much, are you looking at touring around with the van on? Or are you putting it on a permanent pitch?
No, we're going to be touring. We're
Touring
going
around.
to have to change.
Yeah, I would look, yeah, it's absolutely is. I'd look at getting the 13 on there, or maybe the extra one added. I don't know what the price wise. It's, again, that's something that's not in my area of expertise as such. But to get the full optimum of what the caravan's got, yeah, you're better off having the 13 pin on your car.
Yeah.
But I mean, for now, the caravan will still work. All it is you won't have that additional features, as I say, reverse lights. It won't run the fridge when you go down the road, and it won't run your ATC. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Happy?
Yeah.
Lovely. So, gas locker on the front. So, I've got your gas bottle fitted in, ready to go with your brand new pigtail. So your gas system's ready to go. All it is for yourselves is just simply switch your bottle on and off from the top. That's it. It's as complicated as that. There is your regulator at the back here. Now, there is a gas shut-off valve, which is the yellow one at the back here. But this is more for when the guys are safety checking your van. So for yourselves, it's just switch your bottle on and off, and that's perfectly fine for your gas. Okay, obviously only have your gas switched on when you're stationary, don't have it on when you're going down the road.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're in station, you are perfectly fine just to leave it on here and then just operate your gas products internally. Okay. Then also in the front, you have got a wheel brace, your new leg winder which is there, and then you have also got the bar. Now this is for engaging your motor mover, but again I'll give you a quick demonstration in your motor mover afterwards for you. Okay, and you're perfectly fine to store items in the front of the van, but you'll know from trailer experience, if you put all the weight at the front of the vehicle, it affects the way it tows, same as if you put all the weight at the back end of the vehicle. So you're right with light items in here, anything heavy, things like your awning and that, always want to go between the wheels, in the middle of the axle, and then everything else is just spread it out more than anything else, rather than having all the weight concentrated on either the front or the back. Okay. So, we'll mosey on around the side. So, your legs, or steadies as they should be called really. You've got 2 on the front and 2 on the back. Now when it comes to your steadies, as I've already said, if you are slightly off, you can just wind the side that needs raising down first. The main thing of the legs on the caravan, they're not designed to lift it up in the air as such, they're just there for stability. But you can, if you're slightly off, say wind these 2 down just to bring the level up so it's perfectly level for you. Okay.
Okay.
And for your legs, we use a drill. But the drills are good for putting it down on the floor, but really for tightening it off, you just want to finish off by hand and just give it a last few just so it's nice and steady on the floor for you. Okay, so Aldi vent here. So this is the vent for your central heating system as well as your onboard hot water tank. So the system will run on gas, electric, or gas and electric at the same time. There's no cover or anything to remove, that vent just sits there and does its job. Only thing is to watch is not to lean anything up against that section of the van. Okay.
Yeah.
So, next one down, your lovely Akerol. Now obviously your Akerol's there, this is just my demonstration purposes, but you have got your own water container there as such. For your water pipe, all it is squeeze the trigger, gentle wiggle, and off she comes. And all you've got on the end is a particle filter, so all you simply do is fill your Akerol up, drop your pipe in, and then very simply clip it onto the wall. That's as simple as that, and that's your water system ready to go.
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So, we'll move on down. We've then got your lovely leisure battery, brand new one, fitted in, ready to go for you. And then next door, we've got your 240, your mains hookup. Below that, there's an external satellite feed. Well, it's set up for satellite currently, but you can get an attachment to screw in to turn it into an external TV area. And all this is for is if you go to a a site in the middle of nowhere, they may have their own TV mast or a satellite feed, and all it means is you can run the cable from the post to here, and I'll show you where it comes out in the van. All this is instead of the good old days where they used to put a cable up through the window,
Yeah.
so you don't have to do that now, you just simply plug it into there. Okay, and then the black one at the top is the isolator for the motor mover. Okay, but I'll give you a demonstration of that afterwards once we've finished. Okay, now
Leisure battery charging it, obviously it's not going to charge off the car at the moment.
no, but it is.
Will it?
Now when we're sat here plugged into mains electric, its onboard charger is charging the battery. So the only times it's not charging is when you're not plugged into the mains. So you imagine you're just relying on the power that's in the battery.
Yeah.
So would that run the fridge while we were towing at the moment or not?
No, not until you've got it's the power from the car that runs the fridge, not this little 12 volt battery.
Right, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
it works off the alternator off the car is where it gets power from.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
but obviously you can, say you haven't got the electrics, you can run your fridge on gas as well.
Yes.
So your fridge will either run on mains electric, gas, or vehicle battery for when you're travelling down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so you've got the leisure battery on board, that runs your 12 volt system, so it runs the basics in the caravan, so things like your lights, like the sparker for your cooker and things like that, but then the rest of the major power items, like the electric for your fire, for your oven, for your fridge, all comes through the mains of the 240. Okay,
Yeah.
and then also when the 240's on, it's running a battery charger, recharging up this system. So when you're plugged into the mains, you have got a constant cycle of power coming through it. For your leisure battery, we'll jump ahead to winter time. Where are you storing the vehicle? At home, or is it in a home? Fantastic. What you can do is you can buy, we do them in the shop there, a little 3-pin plug. You can plug into there with a 16 end on it. What that means is you can actually power the van up when you're at home. So if you can get to a power source externally, whether you've got a plug in your garage or somewhere outside, if you leave it plugged in, as daft as it is, the battery charge is going, keeping that battery topped up for you.
Right.
Well, obviously, if you leave it for a long period of time, you can find the battery will just naturally run out of power as such. But if you always keep that battery charged up, it extends the life of it, where once you've flattened the leisure battery, it will not recharge. Okay,
Yeah.
happy with that?
Yeah.
Lovely. So, next one's down, fridge vents. Heaters exchanged out the back of them. It's no different than our fridges at home. All it is you don't walk around the back of your fridge at home, so you don't realise how hot it gets round
Yeah,
the back.
yeah.
The other thing, I've currently got it running on gas, so a lot more heat comes out of this side because that's where the gas burner vent is as such for it.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
There, we'll mosey on down. Obviously your motor mover there, but I'll give you a demonstration in your motor mover afterwards for you. So where my bucket is, there's your waste outlets. So this is the waste via the kitchen sink, also the bathroom sink and the bathroom shower. So this is what's known as your grey waste.
Yeah.
And this is where 2 pipes in, single pipe, either into the waste master, or like our posh pictures up there, you've got a drain here. So all you do is plug it in there and then put the other end of the pipe in the drain. That's where I said carrying an extra long length of pipe is advisable, because then you're not bugging around emptying a waste master all the time, because at least your waste is going directly in the drain.
Yeah.
Okay. Now for your Akerol is 40 litres, your waste master's 50 litres. So 9 out of 10 times, if you've run out of fresh water,
that
it's
needs
time to
emptying.
empty this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Happy with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, next one down, toilet. Now, have you ever used a caravan toilet? We're totally green to it.
So we're green.
Yeah,
Green.
perfect. Let me grab some keys then, 2 secs. I thought I had your keys in my pocket, but it's not my car keys. I don't think that will open it.
Have
So-
that as well.
While I'm here, hey, you're not, it's not my car, it's my dad's. 2 sets of keys, so it's 1 key fits all. Okay, so that's 1 set, that's your spare set.
Right.
It's as simple as that. So you haven't got loads of keys to root through. So, up above us here, this is what's called your flush tank. So this is about a 5 or 6 litre tank, and this is just simply for flushing the toilet. So when you press the button on the top, this is the tank where it draws that solution from to sort of flush your toilet for you. Now it's always the pink liquid in the top, and then fill it up with the water. You will need a jug, or again, if you're up on our site, the tap's there, so you can just run a length of hose pipe from the tap and fill it up that way, or a watering can, or as I say, a bottle. Now, for the pink solution in there, it's not an exact science. There is a guide on there to say how many millimetres it is, but to be perfectly honest, all I do is get the pink liquid, slug some in, and then top it up with water. Okay?
Yeah.
Then, obviously, below,
How often does that? I know that sounds silly. No, it's not a silly question, but
no, that.
about how, you know.
It all depends. For when I was living up on the site, if I filled mine up, it lasts me about a week, and that's me by myself. But it all depends on where. If you get onto a site and the toilets are 2 metres away,
Yeah.
you're obviously going to use their toilets
Yes,
more.
yeah.
But if you're on a site where the toilets are 100 metres
Yeah.
away, you'll obviously use this a lot
Yeah.
more. So
Yeah.
until you get used to it, I'll just top it up with a smaller amount rather than filling it to the top. Obviously, if you're away somewhere for 2 weeks, yeah, definitely fill it up.
Yeah.
But if you're only somewhere for a weekend, I'd probably only stick a couple of litres in there.
Yeah.
Okay. It's easy enough just to fill it up. And all it is, you can still use your toilet, it's just you won't have any flush as such.
Yeah, and you'll know it's empty because
Yeah,
it won't flush.
Yeah. You'll notice and you'll hear it. The motor
The
sounds
motor's
different
going
when
and
it's
yeah.
running out. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll hear it.
Yeah.
So below is the business end, as I'd call it. So here's your lovely toilet set. So it is on wheels, so you don't have to carry it around. And all it is now it's the blue liquid in the bottom. So all you do is unscrew your cap. Again, there is a slight measuring guide on there, but it's not really, it's just a slug of blue liquid, a little bit of water in there, and all that does, it starts breaking down the nasties in here, and it also neutralises the odour. So when you're emptying it, it doesn't smell like you're emptying,
Yeah.
it just smells like blue toilet chemical as such. It's quite
Yeah.
overpowering. The thing is, I'm going to talk about it again, I love to stay up there, we have got toilet facilities on the pitch. But instead of using blue liquid in here, you need to use the green liquid. Now the difference between blue and green is it does the same job in here, but it's biodegradable.
Right.
So with the green liquid, you can just stick it down the drain, where blue liquid, you need to go to a set point to empty it.
Yeah.
So it could be an idea to get a small bottle of the green, because as I say, for example, on our site, all you'd have to do is pull this out, turn around, lift up the grid and empty it where you stand. Whereas if you've got blue liquid in, you have to take it out, go down to the back of the toilets, and we've got what's called an Alson point, which is just a central point. It's like a big funnel thing, and you literally just tip it in. There's a sink to swill it out, tip it down, and then you flush it just to get rid of everything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
And then I'll show you inside, there's a little light that comes on top of the toilet to let you know when it's your turn to empty it, because it's always our turn to empty it.
Yeah.
Now, for the tank up here, the reason I say about not overfilling it, if you filled it up and hardly used it, I would take some liquid back out before you get on the road. Main thing being, the tank's right on the back here, and there is a chance it may slosh up into the caravan when you're travelling down the road. So to drain it off is so simple, there's just a black pipe that sits in the top there, and if you just pull that bung out, it will drain the contents of this tank down for you.
Right.
Okay, so now what I carry, you know them big square squash bottles?
Yeah.
I carry one of them. When I've finished, all I simply do is drain it back into the bottle, put the bottle back in my gas lock, and the next time I go away, all I need to do is get it back
Go
out
around,
and tip it back in.
again.
There's no point wasting it, tipping
No.
it down the drain. Okay.
Yeah.
The other reason you'd empty this as well is winter time, for what's called winterising your caravan. Obviously any liquid left in pipe works. If it freezes, it can burst your pipes as such. So winter time, definitely drain every bit of liquid out of here, and then go inside and just hold the toilet flush down until there's no liquid left in it. And then it's winterised as such then, so you know it's not going to cause any damage in the frost. Okay. Happy so far?
Yeah.
Excellent. So, for your toilet cassette, it's the bottom of the handle that locks it in. So all you simply do is just push it in, and it just locks in the bottom there.
And that's opened it, so there's...
Yeah, so now that's ready to use from the outside, for everything else is done internally. So to open and close it is all done off
From
the
the
toilet
toilet.
function itself. So for yourselves, all you need to do is just push it in, make sure it's locked in place there, and that's it, it's ready to go as such. Okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, we'll mosey on round the back. Now, number plate, have you got one with you, or are we making you one up today?
Hopefully you can make one.
Excellent. Did you bring your vehicle documents and everything with you? Perfect. Well, I'll get Jack to get that made and we'll get that stuck on
The
for you
only
today.
question is the car's in my wife's name, but she hasn't got a driving licence at the moment. We've got to send it back, so I've got mine.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. Well, no, we'll let them sort it out. I wouldn't know on that one, but
No,
we'll
it's-
sort it out when we go.
It's because of an illness I've got at the moment. It's
They won't let you drive. Oh, swines, aren't they?
I had to surrender it.
Well, I had a friend that fainted, and they'd done exactly the same. He only fainted, but until they'd done tests and that, they wouldn't have blessed him. He'd only bought a new car the week before, and they banned him for 6 months until they said he only fainted. Bless you. So on the back end, obviously your number plate will be there. Now, if you notice, there's handles on the back and the front of the caravan. If you do ever need to push and pull your caravan around, always do it by the handles. Don't push on the bodywork, because what you can crack your panels. So always by the handles if you do need to move them. And then your back legs are on the rear end of the caravan. So the fronts are on the sides and your rear ones just are on the back end there. Okay. Got it? Fantastic. That's what I mean about drill. So you can get, we do sell them attachments. It does save you, well, we're quite lazy. It saves you a few minutes just to save you winding and winding and winding.
Just boys and their toys.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to say that. We have to have a bit of camaraderie between us men. So now, first cupboard. So, dual access cupboard. This is underneath your bed. Now you have got your spare wheel inside here, which is a million times better than it being in the cradle underneath your van. The other thing with these cupboards, they're great when you're on site, but watch what you're putting in here for travelling. Okay, because obviously if you cram this full of weight, it's over the back end. She will be tail end happy when you go down the road. But obviously when you get to site, you can cram it full with whatever you want. But just for travelling, keep it down to a minimum. Maybe some light chairs or maybe some bedding or something along them lines. Okay, perfect. Now, next one down. I'll do your wheels and tyres while we're here. Sorry about the puddle, my colleague decided to flood the floor. All your details are on the door here, so it's 64 psi per tyre, and it's 130 newton metres for your wheel nuts. Okay, that's the torque setting on your wheel nuts. They've been torqued in the PDI. I will torque them again for you today. From today onwards, it's down to yourselves. So please, before you get on the road, if you've got a torque wrench, fantastic. If not, just use your tyre iron in the front. All it is just make sure your wheel nuts are nice and tight before you get on the road. Because the last thing you want to do is get 10 miles down the road and a wheel overtakes you and your caravan hits the deck. Okay, happy with that?
Yeah.
Lovely. So, door, we'll show you. It's not your caravan, sorry, there's a compressor around the back for the two workshops either side, so I apologise. You have got your lovely door catch there, so to release the door, you do have to pull that catch. Now, if you've got any visitors over, all the echelons, make sure you show them that, because you'll be amazed at the amount of these and the amount of these that we replace here. So obviously if someone pulls your door from there and it doesn't move once, they're going to pull it again and end up snapping it. Same as the top one, so just make sure any visitors you show them the door catch. Okay. Then, last few bits on the outside. We've got an external 240, so you've got mains electric outside. So if you do want to run a stereo or even your telly or something, you've got a power source externally. Then, into your front cupboard. So, all I want to show you in here is this lovely silver and black box here. This is your alarm box. So it's fitted with a tilt sensor on it, so once your alarm's set, if anyone picks your van up in the air, it will trigger the sensor. Also, you've got a motion sensor internally, so again, if anyone breaks in and moves around, it triggers the alarm system. But it's also got its own battery supply in there. So once it's fully charged up, it will stand alone 3 months. So even if I take your leisure battery away, you've got 3 months worth of alarm on it. But obviously with your leisure battery included, it's however long that leisure battery lasts for. Okay. And then, last but not least, external gas barbecue point. With the little brass fitting as well to attach to the pipe. So you can attach that to any gas appliance you want, whether it's a burner or a barbecue. All you simply need to do is attach that to the rubber hose, connect it in, turn it round, and that runs off your bottle supply from the front. So So as long as your bottle's on here, you'll have a gas supply outside here as well for you. Only advice with that is obviously don't cook inside the awning,
Don't, yeah.
because gas fumes and confined spaces don't work very
No.
well. So make sure you cook on the outside and just eat on the inside.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Right, keys, while I'm here, you have got your lovely alarm fobs. So, top ones are torches, second one down sets your alarm. Now, it's one beep on, and you notice your marker lights go on the side, and then 2 beeps off. Okay, exactly the same on the other one. 1 beep on, 2 beeps off. Okay, now, third one down does your awning light.
Right.
Okay, but there is another switch on the inside of the door here. So if I turn it off now, I'm going to turn it on from, oh, I'll get the right one, turn it on from there. Now I can't turn it off.
Yeah.
So you have to, if you're going out in an evening, make sure it's turned off on the inside, and then I can turn it on and off. So you can go out, and then when you get back to the van, after he's taken you for a lovely slap-up meal, you can turn your light on externally before you get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, any questions on anything on the outside? Or do you think I've covered everything for you?
Would you disconnect and would you take the leisure battery out over winter?
Not if you can get it plugged in at home, because as daft as it is, once you're in the mains electric, it's recharging back up that battery for you. So if you were putting it in storage, I would quite possibly say yes. Take it out, take it home with you and keep it charged up. Because as I say, the main thing with these batteries, once you've flattened it, you've killed it as such. And they are about 100 and 120 pound a go. So the more conditioned, the more charge you keep in the battery, the longer the battery will last for. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic, lovely.
What's
Well,
the black bit down there?
this one, that's your last leg.
Oh, okay.
So that's your last leg. So that's where you'll put your leg winder on, or your drill, man's toy, and then all you do is just wind it down, and the leg will just drop down until it hits the floor. Now, as you see, I've only got your back 2 legs down. That just saves me some time on the handover. The other thing is, if you're ever going in your van when you've got it parked on the driveway, at least put a back leg down. Because if you don't, when you walk into the toilet on the end, poof, it will hit the floor. So if you've got it on your drive, at least put a back leg down, and it gives you that stability so you can walk into the back. The other advice, when you are keeping it on the drive, I would put all 4 legs down. The reason being, if someone's going to pinch it, they've got to go through the effort of winding your 4 legs up at the
Yeah.
same time. So it's just an added deterrent as
Yeah.
such to stop anyone thinking about pinching it. Okay,
Yeah.
lovely. Well, who's going to be the first one across the threshold then?
Oh, he's going to carry me in or something.
I wouldn't.
Is that step all right for you?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I was going to say, we've got a lovely double one for yourselves.
I'm in.
Now, the only one seat I want to go up to is the one on the far side. So if you want to sit on this one here, you're more than welcome. Go on, after you, my dear. Right. I'll start underneath that front bench there. I've got some lovely little slip-on jobbies, just because I'm in and out of workshops all day, so God knows what's on the bottom of these boots. So, right, in top corner up here. So, underneath here, in the very, very top corner, there's your Aldi heating system. Sorry, can you see? I don't know where to put my arm. There's your Aldi heating system. So that operates your central heating as well as your 10 litre hot water boiler. But there's nothing to switch on and off. I'm just simply showing you where the unit is. Okay, moving on back this way, we've got your onboard water pump, and then do you see the little yellow lever that's sitting flat? If I open that bit, you may be able to see it. See the little yellow one sitting flat? Now that's what's called your drain off tap. So winter time, and I tend to do it after every breakaway, if you lift that yellow lever up and leave your taps open with your water pump switched off, it will automatically drain all of the water out the boiler, and with your taps open it will drain all your pipe work, and simply it just drains directly out underneath the van for you. So obviously that's how you winterise the internal system as such. But obviously when you want to use it again, all you need to do is drop that yellow tap so it's sitting flat, connect up your water system, switch your water pump on, that will show you, and it's the operation of pulling water through your tap which primes up your system. Okay?
So that fills from the aqua rollers.
Yep, so that draws it up out the Akerol. When you run the hot tap, what it does, it draws it up out the Akerol, fills the boiler up, and then once you've got all the air out the pipes and everything, you'll have running water to your tap. Once you've got running water to the tap, all the air's out the system for you.
Okay.
Okay.
And so does it heat it as you? Is it a?
It's
Heats it as you need it, does it?
no, it just heats up 10 litres. So you
Right.
get 10 litres of hot water. Once you've used